Welcome back, guys, to one more battle of Europa Barbarorum. I am Aeneas, and this time I will show you a battle that I fought against Mephiston again. This was a really interesting battle between two barbarian factions, the Arverni and Casse, in the map that is called Belgica. So this was kind of an invasion of the Casse from the British Islands to Belgium. As you will see, at some point of the battle it seems that the Casse will win, but then something happens and the Arverni win the battle. The map is with some forests in the middle. We intended to deploy in the free space that you can see here on the left of my army, but Mephiston has also a free space on the left of his army, so he decided to deploy here, which was the logical thing to do, and I also did the logical thing for my deployment, which was to deploy on my left side. I also hide some units on the forests of my right flank, 2 units of Belga heavy cavalry, my Geisachte, and 2 units of light swordmen. So I'm going to fast forward until the deployment is finished, so I can tell you which units I have in the field. It's almost about to end. I will wait for both armies to pop up. Okay, so let's pause here. My deployment is this. At the front I have 4 Yasote Celtic slingers, one of them in the forest. At my right flank in the forest I have hidden 2 units of Bagaudas, which are Celtic short swordmen, and they actually have a skirmish mode, so they are kind of a mixed unit, so to speak, between melee infantry and skirmishers. At the back, to protect them, I have 2 Remi Mairepos or Belga heavy cavalry, and also I have at the back my Geisachte to provide some melee power to this right flank, and also some fear effect, and some surprise. I expected to surprise Mephiston in the forest, but as you will see, this will not be possible. My main line is composed of 4 units of Milnat at each flank. These units will be known in Rome 2 as the Fierce Swords, but are much better in Europa Barbarorum than in Rome 2. And at the center I have 2 units of Bataroas, which have more armor than the Milnat, which are almost naked. So these guys will suffer a lot from arrow fire or slinger fire, especially from arrow fire, because arrows have more damage. And at the back I have my Solduros as my general. This is the lead unit of the Gallic of all the Barbarous forces. And at my left flank I have a skirmisher group of cavalry of 2 Taramonos or Belga light cavalry, which are one of my favorite cavalries in the game because they are skirmishers and they are also shock cavalry. And at the back of the Taramonos, 2 units of Gailash or Celtic spearmen to provide backup to the Taramonos. So let's go to look at the Casse army. As I told you, Mephiston is playing as Casse. At the center, he has 4 units of Calaure or Casse champions. As can you see, each of these units has an eagle, which means in this case that they can provide morale bonus to all the surrounding units, and also his general has another eagle, which is a Ricalaure or Britain's late champions, which is like the next level of the Calaure. And at the back of the Calaure, he has the Druidai or the druids, which singing also boosts the morale of the whole army. At the front, he has two units of Yasota or Celtic slingers, and as is Mephiston's style, he has at the back 2 units of Sotaroas or Celtic archers in a more square formation. And behind his general, and as his main melee group, he has first two units of Celtic skirmishers or Barroae, which will provide support. But at the back, he has these Wirodusius or Celtic naked spearmen, which have a fear effect like the Gaisarte, and these 2 units of Gludargos or British short masters, which are destructive. With that two-handed sword, they can literally annihilate anything that stands in front of them. But the weakness of these units is the arrow fire or the stinger fire, especially the arrow fire. As you can see, they have no shields to protect them, although they have helmet and armor. And at the flank, at his left flank, he has all his cavalry group. We see 2 units of Argin Marca or Caledonian Noble Cavalry, which have javelins and also are armored. And at the front of these 2 units, he has 2 units of Mirhan or Castle-like Cavalry, which are similar but with no armor. And he has also 1 unit of Kaidain or Celtic chariots. So I was curious about how Mephiston will play with these Celtic chariots, because I think they are not so easy to play with. So let's fast forward until both armies meet. Both armies will meet at this intersection, and it will take some time for that to happen. So let's be a little bit patient. As you can see, one big difference between the Arverni that I have and Mephiston's Casse is the armor. Mephiston's units, almost all of his units have armor, and my Belgae units are almost naked. The Milnat, which I have 4, and is a very expensive unit. And also my Taramonos have no armor. And the Gaisarte at my right flank, the naked fanatic infantry, has not armor too. And you will see that Mephiston will start firing at my Milnat, and he will kill a lot of my men with arrows. And I wasted my stones on his slingers. I should have shot instead his Gludargos, because if these guys go into melee without being shot before, they will destroy all my army. So let's fast forward this part of the battle, which is not interesting. We were just talking about in which part of the field to meet each other. So At this point, there is some skirmishing going on between the Yasotai of each of the armies and also the Sotaroas. Let's pass forward more. You can see that Mephiston has already started to shoot my Milnat, which are losing men here. I guess that the full strength of the Milnat is 81. So let's see how I already deployed in loose formation. And I also have this unit with one chevron, so it was a big mistake from my part to put this unit in this unprotected area. They have lost 8 men just to arrow fire, so I started to move my Taramonos to avoid that arrow fire, and they will do a nice job killing some skirmishers, but they will also lose a lot of men because they don't have armor, so each shot kills a lot of this cavalry. So I think that Mephiston was slow at covering his skirmishers from my cavalry units, but as you can see, one has already 26 and the other 39 men, so they have lose a lot of men from arrow and slinger fire, and maybe also from the javelins of this unit, which was near the fight. So I decided to retreat, and you see they are still losing men. So this does not look well for me. I have almost lost one unit of Taramonos and the other is kind of depleted. And I think that at this point these units have no more slings, some more stones, sorry. So I will use them to take the javelin fire of the Casse units as mid shield. These guys have some stones still, but these other guys don't have more stones. But because they are in skirmish mode, they are not closing the enemy army. Instead, they are running back. So I will have to take out the skirmish mode. And at this point, I decided that it was a good idea to attack the Mephiston's right flank, because I thought that this flank was weak, because it has only his one unit of Valroy and the 2 units of Casse light cavalry, and this cavalry has not too much room to maneuver due to the red line being there. And my Gaillards are a good counter to these 3 units. And I also have this Milnat that will join this fight at some point, and my Taramonos. I already took out the skirmish mode, and I am pushing my Yasotai to take the javelins from the Casse, from the Calaure. So let's see if they take the javelin fire. Maybe it was a little bit late to do that. But it is possible that Mephiston is not shooting in fire at will, and I decided to attack the Valroy, which will die to this Gailash. Valroy have already routed, and the fight is starting on this side of the armies. Casse Calaure versus Milnat. But this Casse unit is being double, so it's not a good engagement. Also, he's pushing too deep into my units, so my general will face this Calaure with the Bataroas, so this other unit is double, and he's going to put his druids to chant, and this is a one-on-one fight. And as you can see, the Milnat are winning. So it's pretty even for the moment, and I have also routed all the units on this side. At some point I decided to charge with my Taramonos too. So this flank is won by the Arverni, but the other flank will be won by the Casse. I think I was too offensive on this side of the battle because Mephiston will use his Cludargos. Here they come, and these guys will destroy my units on this side, which are light swordmen and the heavy cav. But as these guys have those incredible big two-handed swords, they will kill also my cavalry. So this was too offensive from my part. I have to keep these guys in skirmish mode. As I told you, they can skirmish. And you see here that these Milnat are routing. These Milnat were shot when my army was marching. And this is some kind of flanking from the Balroa to the Milnat. But the Milnat will take longer to route because they have good morale. And as you can see, I am attacking this flank, and at this point of the battle I thought that I was going to lose because all my other flank routed, but I decided not to concede and keep fighting. And I saw that the most important thing that I had to do was to stop these druids from chanting, because while they are chanting, the Casse units will not rout, and that will give enough time for the left flank of Mephiston to envelope my other units. And when these Cludargos start to fight in this melee fight, I will lose. So Cludargos are charging, but also my Taramonos have disrupted the chanting of the druids, and you will see that the Casse will start routing. This will be a nice chain rout. 1, 2, starting with the Balroa, then the Calaure, which are being flanked also, and then these other units will follow soon. You see there that those two units are routing, and Mephiston's help with his cav is coming late, so it was a question of time and also of a good flanking maneuver on my left flank, and of not being demoralized and fighting till the end. So what seemed to be a easy Casse win from the point of view of the left side of the Casse armor, with the Cludargos killing everything, now it has turned to an Arverni win. So the last units remaining in the battlefield for the Casse are the two Cludargos and his general, the Calaure. But this will also rout in due time, because now I have the more units on the battlefield, and when you have more units, the morale of the enemy army reduces. And also my Solduros will kill this depleted unit of Cludargos, and these guys actually will buy some time for my units at the back to arrive. And as you can see, these Cludargos have already routed, and the chariots, I think the chariots couldn't do anything in this battle. So this was a very interesting battle, because I thought that Mephiston will win, but I decided to keep fighting and exploit the advantage I have on my left flank. So let's go to see the results. I have a little bit more killings. I have also deployed more men, which could be an important factor, because this excess of men, I think that was what made me possible to flank Mephiston's right side with my spearmen, and so he was unprotected on that side. And I also have much more men remaining, and the statistics of each unit. You can see here that Taramonos did a lot of kills, 112, and I think those kills were on the Celtic skirmishers, and also the Gailach did a great job with 97 kills. So these units were flanking, and all the other units did good kills. The Bataroas had an excellent performance because they are a middle to weak sword infantry, and well, I guess that's those were the best units on the Arverni army. So I hope you enjoyed this battle, and see you next time.